This morning I was having a conversation with a client and I asked him, I said, so how are the meals going? Mind you, it's right after Thanksgiving. I said, how are the meals going? Thanksgiving was last week. And he said, I think I'm just going to pick up after the holidays. And I said, no, 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 no. That's not what we do around here, right? The holiday is over. Thanksgiving is over. We don't wait for the new year. We start now. We get started now. We don't put off till the new year what we can do now. It's not even December yet. And you see, that's what people do. They write off the entire month of December. I'll pick up in the new year. Hey there, I'm Dr. Del Millers, and this is Energize Your Life After 50. You see, the goal of this podcast is to help you answer one simple question, and that is, how do you want to live the next chapter in your life? Do you want to keep it as it is, or do you want more? Do you want to be better, fitter, stronger, healthier without meds, more confidence, more sex appeal? Do you want to get your mojo back? Maybe you want to be the you you've always thought you could be. So each week we'll look at simple ways to intentionally create your next chapter, prioritizing your health, your physicality, your emotional and spiritual well-being, as well as looking and feeling your best. Are you up for the challenge? Then let's get moving. All right. Hello, everybody. Dr. Del here. How are you? And thank you for joining me again for another episode of Energize Your Life After 50. I am glad you are here. I really do appreciate you. I know you could be doing lots of other things, but here you are listening to me jabbering away, okay? This morning I was having a conversation with a client and I asked him, I said, so how are the meals going? Mind you, it's right after Thanksgiving. I said, how are the meals going? Thanksgiving was last week. And he said, I think I'm just going to pick up after the holidays. And I said, no, 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 no. That's not what we do around here, right? The holiday is over. Thanksgiving is over. We don't wait for the new year. We start now. We get started now. We don't put off till the new year what we can do now. It's not even December yet. And you see, that's what people do. They write off the entire month of December. I'll pick up in the new year. You know what I'm talking about because you probably have done this in the past, right? Or I'm sure you know someone who have done this. I'll pick up in the new year. No. What happened to all the momentum you can get between Thanksgiving and the new year? You have an entire month of positive results that you can create before the new year. If you're trying to lose weight, how many pounds can you lose between Thanksgiving and the new year? So why put it off and wait to begin in the new year because it's the holiday season? No. You take Thanksgiving off, you take Christmas Day off, you take New Year's Eve off, and you recommit to what it is you're doing the next day. Recommit the next day, okay? But why waste all that time? You've invested a lot of energy into changing your life, your weight, your health, all for the better. So why allow the holidays to be just a temptation ground for you to revert back to old habits? It's okay to take time off, like I said. Take the holidays off, but then recommit. So today, friends, I want to talk to you about how do you create positive momentum over the holidays? Because you can. You can get to January stronger, fitter, better than you are now. If you want to take time off, hey, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. But do it because you planned to do it. And don't do it just because, I'm just too lazy to keep going or, whatever the excuse is. Don't make excuses. Do what you do intentionally. It's okay to take time off. It's okay to take a week or two off. If you want to do that, then that's fine. But for the rest of you who would like to, create some momentum between now and the new year, today we're going to talk about, how to do that. because for a lot of people, the holiday season is a time to sit back, relax, eat junk food, and socialize with family and friends. And that's absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that if that's the choice you choose to make. But here's the thing, unfortunately, I think many people are just unconsciously going along with the herd, if you know what I mean. And that's not a powerful place to be because it's not empowering. We want to empower ourselves at every step of this journey. You want to do things because that's what you choose to do, not because everybody else do them. So I'm going to challenge you to create a new paradigm around the holidays, okay? Yes, think of it as a time of celebration, but not just to eat, drink, and be merry, but also a time to celebrate your life and the gift that it is. To take stock of your health. What have you accomplished this year? And what would you like to accomplish next year? This is a time of year when I get introspective. That's what I do. Towards the end of the year, I start thinking about what have I accomplished and what do I want to accomplish next year. No, I don't leave it for New Year's resolutions. I start thinking about it towards the end of the year, so that on January 1, I'm already running because my year goes from today to this time next year. It doesn't go from January 1 to the end of the year. It goes from today till this time next year. So I want you to take stock of your health. What have you accomplished? What would you like to accomplish? Take stock of your life. What have you accomplished and what would you like to accomplish? You see, this is a time when many of you will take time off from work. So why not use some of that time to create positive momentum to end the year with a bang? I'm not sure there's such a thing as negative momentum. Is there? Can you have negative momentum? Not positive momentum, just sounds better. So if you're up for that, then let's talk about how to create positive momentum over the next few weeks. But before we get started, I'd like to take this time to remind you of a few important resources that are available to you. Number one, my free masterclass. The top 3 things you must do to lose weight and keep it off. Okay, if you're struggling with weight as an issue, then you must check out that masterclass. There's also my webinar, Get Your Sexy Back. If you're ready to truly transform your body and your life, then please sign up for the webinar. It's free. You also have access to a free health strategy call with me when you're ready to move forward in a powerful way. I also have a vault of coaching videos at my website, personalfitness.com. You can find all of that, sign up for all of that at my website, personalfitness.com. And lastly, please consider subscribing to this podcast. There is a link in the episode notes. And thank you. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you. All right, so let's get going. How do we actually create positive momentum as we go along through the rest of the year? And you'll notice that the way I like to present things to you is kind of like the Socratic method. I like to ask a lot of questions because questions are powerful. The right questions will lead you in the direction that you want to go. So what does it mean to create positive momentum? It means moving in the direction of something, right? So what is it that you're moving towards? What is that something? What are you moving towards? What is your big picture, in other words, your ideal scene? What are you trying to create? What is that next chapter that you're writing? Have you mapped it out yet? What do you look like? What do you feel like? How are you different than you are now? How is your life different than it is now? Questions, questions, questions. You see, when you decide to move in a new direction, the best thing you can do is to ask yourself lots and lots of questions because the answers will create the outcome. So do you know the answers to those questions? If not, I would recommend a contemplation walk. And that's what I do when I need to think about things and come up with answers. You see, some people like to sit and think, but I think you would have greater access to your creative energies if you're moving instead of sitting. So I like to walk around. I like to go exercise, and that's when I think about things. I have my phone with me with the notes app open, and I usually talk into it and record whatever comes up. And I recommend that you do the same. A contemplation walk to contemplate these answers and see what comes up for you. Okay. Now, here's the second thing you have to do in order to create positive momentum. You have to focus on your why. Why are you on this path to better health, a healthy, sustainable weight, loving the way you look and feel, being able to perform at your highest level? Why? Or I like to call it, get your sexy back or get your mojo back. Ask yourself why. Why is it important to you? Okay? Now, I call it get your sexy back or get your mojo back because for me, nothing is sexier than a healthy, fit, confident man or woman who has tapped into his or her own power. So, again, why is all that important to you? Knowing this will be your biggest motivating factor for those times when you fall off the wagon and just feel like staying down. But reminding yourself why you're doing this, why you're on this path, is what will help you to get up, brush yourself off, put one foot in front of the other, and keep moving. So if you don't know why you're on this path, pause this recording right now and think about it. Here's the third thing I have for you. You have to get inspired. You can't create momentum without inspiration. You have to get inspired, which means you have to surround yourself with people who inspire you. You have to listen to uplifting audio programs like this one regularly, because that's what I try to do, right? I try to give a little inspiration instead of information each week. Because personally, I listen to several podcasts every day from people who inspire me. And I suggest that you do the same. In addition, read about others who have done what you're trying to do. Here's the deal, folks. You have to get inspired regularly. Otherwise, you'll just get lost in the minutiae of everyday living, okay? So get inspired. You need inspiration in order to create momentum. Number 4, keep moving. You got to keep moving. Once you start, keep moving. Don't stop because it takes less energy to keep moving than it does to stop and start again. It reminds me of Newton's basic laws of motion. A body at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by an outside force, meaning it takes energy to get moving once you've stopped. However, a body in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. Key point, it takes much less energy to keep moving forward than it does to stop and get started again, okay? And you keep moving by every day doing at least one small thing that is taking you forward. No matter how small that action is, it's still taking you forward. So what are some of those small actions you can take over the holidays? Well, for starters, one very important one is plan to physically move more. And I'm not just talking about exercise either. Stand up, move around more. You see, for me, shooting this video and recording this podcast right now, I'm always standing when I record my podcast. I'm always standing when I'm on my computer. Okay, so I want you to shoot for at least 10 minutes every hour. Stand up for at least 10 minutes every hour. Okay, the more you stand, the more calories you're burning. Standing burns twice the amount of calories as sitting. So find a reason to stand up and move around. Stand while you're on the computer, like I do. Stand while you're making phone calls. Just find reasons to stand up more. So instead of sitting for hours, instead of sitting and watching television for hours, stand up and move around. Just make it a point to stand up. You can set an alarm, a timer, whatever. If you've been sitting down for 30, 45 minutes, set a timer for you to stand up. I'm always standing. I just find myself, I would rather stand up and move around when I'm home because I don't like to be sitting down in one place. I like to be moving. Here's another thing you can do. Start your own active holiday tradition. You see, most of the holidays are centered around junk food. And so instead of baking cookies, why not get together with family and friends and go for a hike or walk around the neighborhood and look at the Christmas lights? Take a family walk after dinner. Imagine you can burn an extra 500 to 1,000 calories a day just by standing up and moving around. That's not doing extra exercise, just standing up and moving around. How great is that? Okay? So find reasons to stand up and move around more. Now, I know some of you might say, well, hey, Dr. Dell, I haven't even gotten started yet. Well, there's no time like the present. What are you waiting for? I would recommend getting started by focusing on that big picture we just talked about. What are you trying to create, as we discuss? Then ask yourself, why is it important to you? When you've done that, get moving by giving up one habit that no longer serves you and replacing that habit with a healthier habit. Focus on changing just one habit until it becomes something you can do consistently without thinking about it. Any more than that, and you're setting yourself up to fail. You don't want to set yourself up to fail. You want to set yourself up to win. Here's an example. As I mentioned earlier, you might want to start with the breakfast habit, right? What is the healthiest breakfast you can eat based on what you're trying to do? I've got several cookbooks, 10-minute meals, rapid fat loss cookbook. I've got tons of information out there. You go to my website, go to my Amazon page, go on my YouTube at Dr. Del Millers. There are videos there. At my website, personalfitness.com, there are videos. So if you don't know what to do, check out all the free resources I have for you, or pick up a copy of my book. There are tons of examples. But that's one thing you can do. Start by just focusing on one meal. Don't worry about the rest of your meals. Just focus on breakfast every day for your first week. Now, if at the end of the week you're consistently eating a healthy breakfast, then move on to a second habit. If you're not, then keep with it until you can consistently do that. Okay? A second habit, another idea, well, make it a point to stand up and walk around for at least 10 minutes of every hour throughout your day until bedtime. How significant is that? That's a lot of activities without exercising. If you hate to exercise, well, guess what? You're going to burn a lot more calories by standing up for 10 minutes of every hour throughout the day than you would exercising for an hour at the gym, okay? Or just running for an hour, whatever it is that you do for exercise. People forget that the simplest things are the most profound. So those are two simple things that you can do. They're very simple changes to get started, okay? And you want to do this because you want to set yourself up to win, not to fail, to win. Because a few small wins will help to bolster your belief that, yes, I can do this. It doesn't have to be hard. Yes, I can do this. There's an ancient Chinese proverb that says, one step at a time is good walking. So I want you to practice taking just one step at a time. Actually, I can't even remember if that's an actual Chinese proverb or I just saw it from a fortune cookie. Sounds more like a fortune cookie, doesn't it? Anyway, you get the idea, okay? Let's recap what we've discussed so far. Number one, what's your big picture? Number two, focus on your big why. Number three, get inspired. Number four, keep moving. If you haven't gotten started yet, get moving. Start with your big picture, focus on your why, then change just one habit each week, which will allow you to get some small wins under your belt, which helps to build belief, and belief creates momentum. Now, why did I just give you my entire coaching system for free? That's what I do with my clients, folks. That's what I do with my coaching clients, okay? That's where we start and that's how we progress. But I give it to you for free because you see, knowing what to do is one thing. Knowing what to do and having accountability for doing it will take you much further. That's why people who get coaching or counseling usually get better results and maintain those results longer than those who don't. I'm sorry, it sounds self-serving, but that is the truth and it's supported by research. So when you're ready to move forward in a powerful way, I would encourage you to sign up for a free health strategy call with me. We usually focus on the other piece of the puzzle that I haven't mentioned here. And what's that? How you deal with the stressors and emotional triggers that control your habits and behaviors. It's one thing to do what you do, but did you know that only about 5% of the things we do on a daily basis is actually conscious? The other 95%, we don't even know is going on. It's already in there in our subconscious program, okay? So knowing what to do and doing it are two different things, and dealing with the stressors and emotional triggers that control those habits and behaviors. And believe me, this is the most important piece of the puzzle, because the things that control your behaviors, once you uncover those and tackle those, you get much better results. That's why, this is where I spend most of my time with my clients. So that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, as I usually say, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Keep on moving. You've been listening to Energize Your Life After 50 with me, your host, Dr. Del Millers. For all the resources mentioned in this episode, you can check the show notes or go to my website at personalfitness.com. There you can sign up for the free masterclass, the free webinar, a free health strategy call, and have access to my vault of coaching videos, all for free. So check out the website at personalfitness.com. See you next time.